Boola, and welcome to the Against All Odds podcast with Mimi and your boy Matt. Today we are in...
The birthday boy!
Yeah, today is my birthday. Turned 26, but we are in Fiji right now. We recorded a podcast for the premium members earlier.
It was so good.
It was a really good podcast.
It was our first one that we didn't have to edit at all.
But the computer wasn't plugged in, and then when the computer went to power save mode, it cut out, and we lost everything. So that was frustrating. So we're basically going to do everything that we talked about in the premium membership again in here. So that's the plan. Hopefully it doesn't delete all the stuff, or else that would be bad.
Roll intro.
Yeah, today I turned 26. And it's been
in Fiji, though.
In Fiji, yeah. I'm not 26 yet in America, but I will be soon.
How does it feel to be 26?
I'm in my late 20s now. That's pretty crazy.
You're almost 30.
I don't want to say almost.
You're above midway.
The thing is, it doesn't, aging to me, that doesn't scare me at all because, to be honest, I don't want to be, chest thumping. But, I really feel like I have a lot of my life figured out. And I'm really happy with where I am. I have you. I'm really happy with that.
That's all you need. You're good.
My career's going well with soccer. I'm really content. So aging doesn't scare me at all. I'm fine with it. The only thing I just don't want my metabolism. I just don't want to lose my six pack. That's the thing. But I have a bet with my mom that says that
I know.
By 40, yeah, if I have a six pack, then I get $1,000 or something. And it's going to happen. I'll have a six pack.
You'll do it. Even if you have to do it just for a month before, just to get it.
Go on a big cut or something.
Yeah, no, but you'll be fine.
But yeah, this trip, we haven't talked about anything in the Fiji trip because the last podcast got deleted. But we are here for a 4-day, 5-day, 4-night kind of vacation. And it's perfect because it's kind of just on the way from New Zealand back to America. Season finished in New Zealand. Did not get relegated. Great last game. Beat a pretty good team of Miramar. And just everything was just really good. What are you going to miss about New Zealand?
I'm going to miss their bread. They had really good bread. Admit it. They had really good bread.
I don't know.
Sandwich bread.
Yeah, it was okay. Just tastes like normal multi-grain bread.
I'm going to miss my soy and linseed one.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to miss just the small town feel of it. Because I'm from a big city, big town. And, I do see people that I know when I walk around, but it's not the same as in Wellington, I feel like.
Wellington's special about that. You can go anywhere. No matter, anytime you go into town, you'll see somebody that you know. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, but I liked it. I'm a social person, so I like seeing people. I'm definitely going to...
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Okay, sorry about that.
I'm really going to miss, this is going to sound really lame, but the plants and just...
the scenery?
The scenery. It's very interesting because it's tropical, but there's also a lot of pine trees. And then there's these Jurassic Park ferns everywhere. Yeah. So when you walk around, you feel like you're on a different planet. Yeah,
it really is like that. And I think the birds too, the birds sound so...
that one especially that makes that weird
tui
noise.
Yeah, the tui bird, which I've talked about tons of my videos.
It's funny.
But yeah, it was sad to leave because I've talked about, I've talked about the hard part about being a pro is that you're away from your friends and family. But I think another part that sucks about being a pro is that because you are away, you develop very fast and close bonds with anybody or everyone that you go to in the next place or that place where you are. I developed crazy bonds over in Germany. Remember Simone? Mm-hmm. Little German Simone. And then I developed amazing friendships over at Orange County and St. Louis. Crazy great friendships over at St. Louis. And then now in New Zealand, I was living with a family. I felt part of that family with the Hornsbys.
Really.
And then you are just always constantly feeling like that you're leaving right when it's getting good, right when...
I know, I told you, right when we were leaving was right when I was getting, all the streets down. Yeah. I totally knew my way around. I felt comfortable.
But not even that. I'm just saying, with friends and family, I felt so comfortable around the Hornsbys. My teammates are in New Zealand, and I was there for 6 months. Like, I really felt like I was starting to bond with, click with, and get close with. St. Louis, you're there for 9 months, and that's where they really become, I think it takes about 6 months until they really become like your best friends that you can really open up with. And so you're just finally feeling so comfortable with everybody, and then it just, circumstances come up and you have to leave. And here was a positive leave because I'm going hopefully onto a bigger and better club, bigger and better team, and pushing back into that fully professional environment. But it's still sad every time to leave that. And like, especially saying bye to the Hornsbys was hard at the airport. It was like, because it really felt like my second family.
Yeah. And, I mean, you have to remember too, though, like, it's not the end. Like, I know Tyler Hornsby wants to try to play pro somewhere. So, I don't know. We have, like, these kind of bets going about, like, who he's going to see again. And
yeah.
I feel confident that you're going to see a few of them again.
I know I'll see the Hornsbys again, which is cool because I just have in my gut, like, I know that they're going to come over to America one time, or I might want to take another trip down to New Zealand. And if I'm down there, for sure, the first people I'm hitting up are the Hornsbys, like, I have to. So I know I'll see them again, for sure. And we might even have to meet in Fiji, another time, because this place is
Fran would
dope.
like that.
Yeah. But Fiji, like the trip here, coming back here.
Yeah, let's talk about Fiji a little bit.
It's been amazing. What has been like your expectation of coming here? Because you really didn't know much about Fiji other than what, the island tropicalness that you were told.
You didn't either.
I mean, yeah, well, I knew a little bit more.
Kind of.
I still knew more.
You probably talked to people more.
Yeah, I did talk to people.
One huge thing that I didn't expect with Fiji was, or they say Fiji, is the landscape of the island. I was expecting, I guess, like Hawaii, where it's kind of more tropical and more plants and palm trees and greenery.
Rainforest.
Yeah, just more like a tropical vibe. But here, I mean, at least on the main island that we're on, because there's like a million islands, but 300 or something.
Yeah, there's something like 300 islands.
Yeah, but the island that we're on, the main one, is just like, it's kind of like an African safari, like desert vibe.
I do want to say we are right now in the middle of the dry season. And we are as
well. Yeah, but you can also kind of, I know, but you get a feel for, it's not like there's like dead trees everywhere. There's just no trees.
Yeah, but we are as well on the dry side of the island too. So not only are we in the dry season, we're in the dry side.
I mean, I figured that there's different, Yeah,
because we're about an hour south of Nadi, which is
that's
another
funny.
thing.
So the city that we flew into is spelled Nadi, and we were calling it Nadi, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
Nadi.
And then I think it was Tyler Hornsby, was like, "Yeah, there's a silent N. It's Nandi."
Nandi.
And then Shelly, we went home, and you're like, "Wait a minute, that's not even a silent N. That's an invisible N.
I've never
it's
seen
not
that
even
before.
in the word."
It's usually like with a silent letter, like
it's
K.
There. It's
like if you
there.
want to do K for night,
yeah,
it's the K is there, but it's silent. Here, there is no N, so it's not a silent N. It's an invisible N. There's just an N there. You have to say Nandi.
Yeah, but another kind of huge surprise, I guess, with Fiji is the people. So most of the people that work in the resort that we're staying at are Fijian, and they are the most soft-spoken people I have ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way whatsoever. They are the nicest people. I think the nicest group of employees and
Very
just people
nice,
that I've ever met. Everywhere you go, they're just like, "Bula!"
Bula!
Because that's like their
Bula,
aloha.
bula.
So they say bula to everybody. But when we order, like when they take our order and stuff at restaurants or for drinks or anything, it's like tell that story that happened to you. I think it was at the beach when we were trying to order.
That wasn't about soft-spokenness. That was just about their laid-back island time.
Oh yeah, but that's another thing. So it's like you can't even understand them really because they're kind of whispering to you, and they're just so. It's almost like a shyness, but it's just like it's like a softness. They're like these big manly guys, but then they're like, "So
what would you like to drink?
You want a drink? You want some water?"
Oh, cool.
And then you end up like whispering back. You're like, "Yeah, I'll get some water, please."
It's really weird about how like it's
just so different because then we feel so loud and like annoying, and you can also tell the Americans in the resort, because another thing about Fiji that we're learning is that everybody kind of runs on island time. And we knew about that beforehand because it was in the reviews for the place. They're like, "Yeah, 5-star resort, amazing, great, But man, like they're on island time there because there's
it's
so
not
many
bad service.
No, it's not bad. And there's just so many like stressed out Americans, stressed out business workers, like just people from all over the world who are trying to escape this like business crazy fast-paced life, and they come here and they expect us to like order like in a second or to have a waiter come over and like talk to you right away, and you have to just kind of sit, and it's hard. You have to go through this like transition to like get used to it, and you see the Americans that are like not quite used to it yet. Like we were at dinner last night, and it takes about 5-10 minutes just to get someone to come over and get give you water or whatever, and you just enjoy each other's company. And there's this couple next to us that was from somewhere in the US. She's like, we're ready to order now, like just yelling across the restaurant, and I was like, she doesn't know they're on the island time yet. Like she's figuring it out.
And I was sitting and I wanted to order like drinks, and so we're trying to get and the waiter comes over, and Mimi was gone in the bathroom or something, and he's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And he's like, nice day, huh? I'm like, yeah. He goes, it's too hot for me. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's too hot. I'm like, yeah, it is pretty hot, but I like it because I was cold in New Zealand. It's like, oh, you were in New Zealand? I'm like, yeah, for 6 months. He's like, cool. And he kind of turns, he looks out the ocean, and he's like, so where are you going after this? I'm like, back to America. He's like, oh, nice. And looks back at the ocean. 5 seconds pass of him just looking out. I'm just sitting there. I'm fine with it. Turns back to me after 5 seconds. So, you want anything to drink? I was like, oh.
Like, actually, since you're asking.
Yeah, it was like a full conversation. And it was like, I like that because it's like, what is the need? Because I was like, we're not in a rush. There's no rush. We're here for 5 days, 4 days or whatever. There's no rush at all.
Exactly.
But it's just funny because you have to realize that, and then realize that it's not bad service of them taking forever to even get you water.
It must just be their culture. And like they're just not in a hurry at all.
Yeah. But it's been an amazing place to spend my birthday. It's just different, like even from Hawaii and stuff like that, because like there's no waves really, like even in the ocean side, because we have a little lagoon and bay, but it's just very still, very relaxing, calm. The resort's very spread out, so you're never around tons of tourists. Even like we'll go to the main beach, and there's like 5-6 people there in this big beach.
Yeah, so it's it is the off season, but still this resort is just so spread out that you feel like you're by yourself at the beach or at the pool, which is really nice. It's
really, really nice. So it's been great. And then the good thing about this place too is like it has a really good gym, because that was one thing. I've wanted to take this time, if you guys have been following me on YouTube, which I'm guessing you guys do, but I wanted to take this time kind of off editing videos and doing the emails and the programs and the work, because that is what really takes up the 10 hours of my day. But my body has been feeling so good, and I've wanted to, now I'm finally feeling back up to that 98, 99%. And instead of taking a week off and then dropping even down to 95% again, and then having to get back into the workouts, I'm like, no, we're ramping it up. So for the last 4 days, including this morning on my birthday, we've gone to the gym. We've gotten really, really good workouts.
Yeah, we've done really good workouts here.
Yeah.
And it's nice too, because if it's just like us and then we just turn the fans off, and then it's just
warm,
hot, warm, and
so
kind
you
of humid.
Sweat. But I've been doing I've been doing high intensity interval training, cardio sessions, like kind of modeled after a lot of different stuff. But one of the player I found, like John Terry's workouts, which I'll do a full YouTube video about. But I've been doing a lot of his cardio sessions, and I've been completing them, doing them really well with no pain, no problems. So again, it's just continuing, just strengthening up, getting better, training, doing all that stuff. And once I get back to America, now I will again have another 4 months. And I can't even imagine where I'll be in 4 months of training, working out, and doing all this stuff, and really, really feeling back to where I was. And then hopefully the goal is to push back into the USL, or into an equivalent pro league. I could go up to Canada, anywhere. It really doesn't matter. Scandinavia, over to Asia.
We're aiming for the US though.
I'd like to play in the US. It's just so nice to play in the US in front of your friends, family. Everybody speaks English. That's the main language. There's obviously no cultural differences, It's just...
We can plug our electronics in the walls.
Yeah, we can plug our electronics in the wall without a converter, and Mimi always steals my converter, so... But yeah, so that's going to be the general plan. And then today, for my birthday, Mimi was super nice this morning. She went out, and when I was still in bed, like 7 a.m. in the morning, she got up.
6:50?
I was actually really surprised, because never... ever do you wake up before me and get out of bed?
It was it was the instincts. Remember I told you that my mom, like when I was sick, she had to wake up every 2 hours to give me medicine?
Yeah.
She didn't set an alarm. She just had this thing where she knew she had to get up. I didn't set an alarm this morning. I just told myself, I'm like, I'm going to get out of bed before Shelly does. And I just opened my eyes, checked my phone. It was 6:50. I was like, perfect. And I got out of bed. And you were like, I knew you were like going to wake up. So I was like, I better just run out of here really quick.
Because I woke up when you were out. I'm like, oh, maybe I thought you were in the shower or something. I was like, maybe you must be in the shower, whatever. And then you came back.
I knew you wouldn't think anything of it if I was gone. I was outside, like, getting whatever, and I was like, oh my God, like, I was freaking out. I was like, he's going to wake up and be confused. And I was like, wait a minute, it's Shelly. He's not even going to care that he's not even going to notice that I'm gone, probably.
It took me a few, I was lying back because my phone turned this way.
Yeah, because you're always just, like, looking at it.
And I was looking at my phone, I was looking at, like, the market or whatever, and then I turned back and I was like, oh, Mimi's not here. I was like, that's weird. Mimi's never out of bed. And then I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. It was my birthday. And then all of a sudden you come back in and you had like the chocolate bar, my favorite Hokey Pokey chocolate bar from New Zealand, a nice dessert, cheesecake dessert that it's in the fridge now.
These cool like chocolate things.
I'll show it on the camera. But yeah, that will be dessert tonight after we go to dinner. And then she brought out like a cappuccino and a nice card. So that was like, I've never had coffee like brought to me in bed before. So that was pretty cool.
I honestly wanted to get you like breakfast in bed or do like
it's too much,
like the room service in bed. But I was like, it would take like an hour on island time, so I wouldn't be able to surprise
you. And we're trying to go to the gym.
I
we
know.
got places to be.
I know. I was like, and he's gonna want to work out, so I just got you coffee. I was like, we'll get the buffet later.
And then after the gym, we came back, showered, had a nice breakfast buffet in here. And then I got a little juggling session, some photo shoot.
Yeah, we went to the beach for a while, and I had Instagrammed today a picture of you. And I had just tagged the location, like Marriott, Momi Bay in Fiji. And they commented on my Instagram, which surprised me in itself. Yeah. And they were like, oh, we're so glad you're here, Matt. Like, happy birthday. And then we came back from the pool and the beach today, and this was on our table.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. If you're not watching it, we're not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah, go look. I thought it was champagne, but it's actually a really nice Pinot Noir, just white wine.
Which is a white.
Yeah, he had to figure that out. But I think, wait a minute, it has like a champagne like top though.
It might be champagne. It sounds like it would be champagne.
Yeah, it's definitely champagne.
All right, well then they gave us champagne, so
it's champagne Pinot Noir.
I don't know. Okay.
Chardonnay Pinot Noir.
I don't think they care.
Creamy bubbles. I'm confused though. We'll drink it eventually.
It's bubbly wine.
Are we drinking that tonight?
I've got a couple glasses of that. Enjoy that. So that's something too, even for a business standpoint, like how awesome that is of a business to do that.
I know, and they went to the trouble of finding out what room we were in.
Yeah,
like making sure it was you and your birthday or whatever. And like that shocked me.
Because it was on your Instagram, but the
and
hotel's under my name.
I'm a big Instagram person. I have 2,000 followers. They're all just from my high school. It's not like they're doing it just, because it's someone important, because I'm not.
And they would have no idea. Like, I didn't tell the hotel when I was booking the place that it was my birthday.
Yeah.
Like, I just was like, oh, wait. We came back. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, we've had just amazing service here overall.
And so, like, that for as like a business standpoint, it's really cool to see, because it makes you realize that it is that little extra mile that really makes the business that much better. Because now, like, if I'm going to, tell anybody how it was, I'm gonna mention the story.
Exactly.
And I was like, yeah, it was a really good hotel, but the amazing thing was, like, it was my birthday. They had no idea, but just from one Instagram post that Mimi did, they gave me a full bottle of champagne and brought it to the room.
Do you know what it also shows too, though?
Huh.
It shows the power of social media.
Yeah.
And how important it is now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
That's the everything. Everything. And there's people that companies hire that just do that. Like, I'm sure there's someone that Marriott hired and said, you're in charge of the social media.
For sure.
You're in charge of making all of everybody who's here feel special, reach out.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're doing a good job.
Yeah. So, and that's just stuff that even you can bring into your own business as well. Like for Become Elite, like that's just like, I should try to go the extra mile with extra stuff, and I try to do that with like Elite Challenge members. any of you guys are listening, like I really try to take my time with game analysis stuff, or really try to take my time and answer emails.
And he does. I mean, I'm the witness here. Like, I'll see when he's answering emails, and I think most of the time when you hear like a business person saying, yeah, I have to go answer emails, you think like, you know, just like one sentence or like referring you somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And he writes paragraphs, or he watches your videos, your game film. Like he goes the extra mile, and he always has. He's done that since the first email he ever got, and he gets like hundreds, I don't know, 50 a day.
Yeah, like 50 a day probably.
And he puts in the same effort every single time. So
for me, it was always like, I always thought like when I was building a brand where it's like, I knew like the people that I really liked or something, or just like a reply or favorite or a like of a comment or just a little connection like that, like means the world.
Yeah, like even just getting this in our room, I was like, oh my God, I feel special.
So if I could, especially my thing was I answered every single DM, every single email, every single comment, everything until it got to the point where it was impossible. Yeah. And now like, again, like I wish I could, but if I did that, I wouldn't be able to make YouTube videos, and then I wouldn't have any comments after that. But I just think that, you know, that's the goal of building a brand, is trying to make the connections with people and little special stuff like that. And I think meetups are really good with that, and that's why with meetups I try to go the extra mile too, and like really, you know, I'll stay after for 2 hours.
Well, and you try to give them something valuable too. It's not just like, hey, take a picture with me. It's I'm gonna teach you something and train and let's like get something out of it. Let's play. I think, you've always been really good at that. Yeah.
But this trip has been amazing. We still have 2 more days. And then after that, go back to America.
That's when it all starts.
That's when it starts. Are you looking forward to the 10-hour flight?
I'm not sure, because I don't know if you have anything up your sleeve. I'm not sure what you planned.
What do you mean planned?
We have normal seats.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get your hopes up. They're not first class seats, Mimi. They're economy seats. So don't expect like, oh, he's going to have a surprise, and then it's an economy. So, fuck!
Did I just hit your knee?
God, yeah.
Oh, he has like this open wound that's just always in the way.
God.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not worried about the flight at all. The flight here was like weirdly the easiest flight I've ever done. Like it was easier than going to like Chicago. I don't know why. Like I just got in my spot. I had an aisle seat. I had everything planned out. I had my comfy socks on. Like I had my book. I read a book, fell asleep, woke up, and I was there. It was it. Like there was no time where I was like, okay, you know, like how much longer? Like I never reached that point where I was like impatient. That's when you know it's a good flight, because when you're just sitting there hoping for time to go by, that's like the worst.
I just always save a lot of stuff, like a lot of work to do. Like I know like this flight, I have like a full elite challenge program for September. I have to do tons of video footage to go through and edit, because I haven't been editing this entire week. Yeah. And so it's all about like even selecting the stuff that you need internet for, like selecting a song, doing some stuff.
The problem though is that most of my work though requires the internet, because I do a lot of like researching and creating like collages and mood boards and stuff. So I need the internet to do that. But I do try to set myself up though for work to try to accomplish something.
But I'm excited to get back on American soil. Like it is kind of like funny when I especially was big. I was in 9 months in Germany, and when I landed back in America, I think that was more big because they didn't speak English over there. So it was
I remember I picked you up. I picked you up when you got back from Germany. And the first thing we did was we went to Chipotle. Yeah. But then I think we also went to a grocery store because you wanted to pick something up. And I remember like your face, like when you came out, you're just like, oh my God, like I could read everything. Yeah. You were so excited. And like that was one huge thing, that you could just read everything. And then another thing was like space. You're like, there's so much space. Like I could walk down the aisle and there was just space everywhere.
Yeah, because the German.
And then I remember you like picked up a quarter. You're like, a quarter. I was like, Shell, you weren't even gone a year. Shut up.
9 months. I mean, imagine going 9 months though, where you can only pick out a few words everywhere you go.
I know.
Everywhere you go. And the same thing, like everywhere you go, no matter what, you have to prepare in your head how you're gonna say, "How's it going today?" Like in German, you know, or like you want to order food. Ich hätte gern ein, and it doesn't even like come that natural. Like you have to like, okay, and then he'll probably say this, and then this is a good response to that. Yeah. Versus America, you can just be like, I remember in Chipotle standing in the line, I was like, okay, how do I say, I would like a burrito, please? And I'm like, I know how to say that because it's English.
Give me a burrito.
Yeah, so like that was really cool. to come back. But it's still, even from going to New Zealand for 5 months, it's still like, I'm excited for roads that are wider because I don't have to pull over and have these cars go through. I can just go down the road.
Yeah, that was one thing that frustrated me a lot about New Zealand was that, and I don't believe that it was because of the lack of space, because they had space. There was a lot of land that was undeveloped.
Yeah.
But they made every road like 5 feet wide. Yeah. Like it was to the point where nice, wealthy, like it wasn't that was a problem. Like in these nice affluent areas, it was only a one road.
Yeah.
One car road, and you had to like scoot over for the other person. And then I remember when your friends came from Australia, they were from Sydney. I was like, oh, like are you guys excited to go back to Sydney on like the big roads? And they're like, no, like ours are like this too. I'm like, you have a giant country.
They said their roads was big.
No, they said that theirs is like that too.
They said some roads, but they said they had bigger roads though too.
No, because I remember thinking to myself, like, that you guys have so much space over there. Like, why? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's just an American thing that we...
Yeah, but when you're growing up with it, you just feel claustrophobic everywhere. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And then I'm also excited just like for nice new gyms, like 24-hour fitness, LA Fitness, stuff like that. And then the most exciting thing I'm excited for is
Chipotle?
Chipotle. I'm going to land to get Chipotle.
We're getting Chipotle.
But the most exciting thing I'm excited for, I got to stop saying that, is to start my off-season series. Because for my channel, my favorite thing to do was that off-season series. Mm-hmm. I thought it was so cool to show every other day of the workouts and the plan and to going forward, the diets and the workouts, the fitness. Like, because since everything was on my own, I could show everything. When I'm in season, when you're training, especially with the pro team 6 days a week, you really only do like 2 or 3 workouts outside of that.
And you even have breakfast with the team.
Yeah, breakfast and lunch with the team. So then all I had to show was like, okay, well, here's 2 or 3 kind of half-assed workouts that I'll show you guys.
And then the same dinner every day.
Because I'm so tired from the trainings, and we even had weightlifting with the team I couldn't show. Mm-hmm. I literally did that on top of it just to show some stuff. And then like I would show dinner, and then other than that, like sometimes I'd go out and get an extra training session in. But even then, like it was like only in very special occasions. So I'm very excited for this off-season series to show everything. Mm-hmm. Again, because I feel like that was one of the best series on my channel, and I feel like that's what a lot of people a lot of people said they've been following since the day in the life in Germany, but a lot of people also said like my favorite series was the off-season series, and that's when I started following you.
Let people know like what they should expect from it if they haven't watched it before.
If you haven't seen the off-season series, or if you don't know what it is or whatever, or you have seen it but you're wondering what this one's going to be like, the general plan, even for my off season, first off, is the month of September, maybe into October. I do really, really want to try to train with USL teams, to do trials, to do stuff like that. So off season probably won't start until November. I'm not sure which USL teams. Nothing is ever concrete until the day before, pretty much. So I could have all these teams say, no, you can't come in, or I could have tons of teams say, yes, you can come in. But then the plan is once off-season starts around beginning of November is to go to San Diego, and we'll get an Airbnb, hopefully together. And then...
so the aim is off-season in San Diego, but it's not 100%.
Yeah. But that, I can't see why that wouldn't happen unless... I
don't know. I could just see you be like, see ya, I'm going to India. I'm like, all right. So
that's true.
I have learned to not get my hopes up.
Which is
so
good.
That's why I don't want everybody else to get their hopes up.
Yeah.
But that is the aim.
That is the aim. And then basically with our own Airbnb and a kitchen and a nice weather outside is to show everything. Diet plan, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I want to be in like almost from a maintenance to like almost a clean bulk where I'm gaining a little bit of muscle mass, because I am even still skinnier from my surgery, so gain maybe a little bit of muscle mass and just mainly focus on the training aspect of it.
Yeah, and you're telling me you're feeling like you can push yourself in the gym.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting to be able to show. Because now it's not just going to be like, rehab.
Yeah, because so much of the gym sessions, it was like I would do rehab, or I would even deadlift, 135 pounds, or do a little bit of a workout. and then my groin would start to feel sore, or my abs would start to be painful. And like I couldn't even do functional workouts because I would just get so, my body wasn't ready for it, and it takes so long to get back up to that professional level. You know, it took me 10 years of weightlifting to get up to the workouts that I was at now. So you can't come back in a couple months, and that's what a lot of people didn't understand too. But the whole off-season series is now like the workouts are going to be good. The training's going to be good, you know. Hopefully I can get some other people down in Southern California, because I know a lot of people in that area to come train with me.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Show the fitness and the cardio of getting back into shape, and then show the full diet plan, everything, with like an end goal of getting fit and ready for preseason. And then hopefully, you know, you never know again, but hopefully I'll have a team trials or something lined up, at least a preseason invite for that preseason. And then we start it all over again. But as you know, soccer goes, everything can change in a blink of an eye. You get one email from one agent or one person that says, look, I'm from Sweden. I got a team here for you. Second division. Would you want to come over here, trial for the team, blah, 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 blah. Then you follow that opportunity.
Exactly why I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah. Because at the beginning of our relationship, you know, I almost hesitated telling you a lot of stuff or plans of the future, because I didn't want to be like, yeah, like even like for Italy, you know, like, yeah, you'll come over to Italy.
That was different though. I had plane tickets, and it was the day that I was leaving.
Okay,
well,
well,
I was packed.
I didn't want to be like, okay, well, we'll do this, and then you'll come over here, and then this, because so much of it changed. Like I've told the story a lot, but like my plan for Italy, like after the season ended in Germany, was to go around with my family, and then Mimi was going to fly over and meet us in Rome, and we're going to be over in Italy for 3 weeks, kind of as a vacation. I was going to go back to Germany, and then I was going to pretty much sign with this 4th division team. But halfway through that trip, or a week into that trip,
the day before my flight,
the day before Mimi's flight, I got a trial invite into Orange County, and then it was my dream to play. It was the
most bittersweet moment of my entire life, because I was prepared to go spend, you know, my summer or whatever vacation in Italy traveling with you, which I was ecstatic about. I was preparing for months. I went shopping. I packed my whole bag. Like I told everyone, I was so excited. And then you text me, you're like, I'm flying into LA tomorrow. Can you pick me up? And that was that was the best scenario that could have happened, because you were literally coming to play in Southern California for Orange County. There couldn't have been there literally is not a closer team you could have played for to my home. So it was like the best thing that could have happened, but like the worst at the same time. So it was I remember that feeling exactly when I got that text. I was like my heart was just like, what do you do? What do you do? Are you mad? Are you happy? Like, you know, I just couldn't. But the funny part was my mom was planning this party, because it was when I graduated. I had just, I think, was it when I graduated?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was about to, right after that summer, I was going to go study abroad. Mm-hmm. So my mom was having this going away party for me, because like I wasn't going to see my family for a long time, because I was just going to go straight from Europe over to my study abroad. So I was just going to be gone. And then everybody knew I was going to go be with you in Europe, whatever. And then at the party the next day or whatever, you were there. And everyone was like, wait a minute. I'm like, yeah, I'm not leaving anymore.
Yeah, people would be like, wait, isn't Mimi leaving tomorrow to
go see you? Yeah, and like everybody in my family and all my friends were like, what's going on here? I'm like, surprise.
Yeah, but
I'm not leaving.
And I remember specifically feeling a lot of pressure and no pressure, a weird range of pressure with that trial. Because usually you have so much pressure in the trial all put on yourself, because you obviously want to sign that contract, you know, and if you understand that if it doesn't work out, you need to now find a new place. Mm-hmm. But this trial was really weird, because I knew I had a contract in Germany in the 4th division, a great league to fall back on. Like they literally said, yeah, we'll have you, blah, 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 blah. Like when you come back, you'll sign a contract like July 1st or something. So I knew that going over to Orange County, even if it didn't work out, I could still go back to Germany. I would still have a contract. But I had all this pressure on me, because I'm like, well, I just ruined my trip to Italy. I ruined Mimi's entire trip to Italy.
And then my whole family was so excited because you were going to play at Orange County, like if you made it.
Yeah, and that was like, I had so much pressure of people wanting me to play in Orange County. I had pressure from my family because I left them. So I was like, I have so much pressure for this trial to work out. And then at the point, it took a little bit longer for this contract to come through at Orange County. And I started kind of feeling like, well, if it doesn't work out in Orange County, now I won't even have that contract to go back in Germany.
Yeah, you had to choose. I remember. You're like,
So,
if I go to Orange County, I'm gonna ruin my chances over here.
If I stayed there after a certain, like I just said, but if I was there for a few days, they said no, I could still fly back over and have that contract. But yeah, it was very a weird sense of pressure with that trial, but it all worked out, obviously, as you guys have seen on my YouTube channel. I document everything. But
yeah, and I try to not put pressure on you, because I know that it's out of your hands 99% of the time. For me, it's just hard when my decisions are based on your decisions, and then so like, you know, like it's hard when my life is uncertain because yours is uncertain. So like when I had a job, it was hard because like if you were like, yeah, like I'm gonna be over here for a couple of months, like, you know, if I quit my job, like it was a big decision, like I would go, and that would be a big life decision I was making because of what you were saying. Or like when I was in school, like if I bought a plane ticket that was, you know, that was pretty expensive, like I wanted to know that I wasn't wasting money, and that was the hard part, when I would have to plan things around it. But now that I don't have my job anymore, it's easier and I don't care. Yeah. And there is no pressure because I don't have to have it figured out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been hard to plan my life around something that's always changing and it's never certain. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten used to it. I don't mind it.
I know, even in New Zealand, it's just because it's like people don't understand that lifestyle. And like if you're listening to this, and if you're a kid that wants to go pro, which I'm assuming is a majority of you guys who are listening, that is like, you really don't understand it until you've been there, about how uncertain your life is.
Yeah, they're like most of the time in our life, I only know what we're doing up until like a couple days. Like right now, I know for a fact that we're going to be in Fiji until Saturday. Mm-hmm. And from there, everything is uncertain.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to be in LA. My brother's going to pick us up. Once we get in the car, I have no idea what's going to happen. And like, that's what I've learned. And people always ask me like, oh, what's his plan? I'm like, well, until Friday, he's going to be here. That's all I know. Like, I can't tell you where he's going to live, like what city he's going to be in, like where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
It's like always just like, now I've learned that it's just literally until the end of that certainty, which is only a couple days usually, or like a week. Because even if you're in New Zealand over there, if someone would have said to you somewhere else in the world, hey, here's a contract for you that's really good, you would have left and you would have gone there.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it would have.
So even New Zealand wasn't certain. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't go over there thinking, okay, 100% I'm going to be here for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and that was like, people ask me, like, even, you know, teammates, families, or whoever over in New Zealand, they're like, so what's your plan? Like, what team are you going to go back with in the USL? And I was like, whatever team will take me, you know, like it's going to be based on, and they're like, well, which area do you want to go? I'm like, look, you don't understand. Like, it's not like what area do you want to go or what team. You go there and you have to be so fluid that it's like whatever opportunity needs a right back, a domestic right back,
at that moment.
At that moment, the coach also likes me. And I'm going to go there. I don't care if it's in Canada. I don't care if it's down in Florida. I don't care if it's in California. I don't care if it's in Seattle. Like, it's wherever.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Or if it's in the middle of America, you know, like I'll go back to St. Louis. I'll go back. And people are always, and they don't understand, like, well, like, you don't have a team. You don't have anything concrete. Why don't you stay in New Zealand then? I'm like, well, because then why I want to push. And when you
have
push,
to make yourself available for
when you push on and upwards like that, a lot of times you do have to be. Because so many people either see the amateur side, and the amateur side where it's like any team will pick you up, you know, like, oh yeah, just sign your name down and play. Or they see the professional side where it's like fully Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, you know, Gareth Bale, where pretty much any club they want to go to, they just have to talk to their club, and then the transfer will happen.
I think fluid's the best way to describe it. You just have to be fluid.
Yeah. But the majority, like, I mean, I've put these stats out. The majority of pros, the majority of pros, I think it was like 50% of pros make less than $1,000 a month, you know, and that blows people's minds. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that. And so you have to think, well, then half of the pros, professional soccer players in the world, they're not, if you're making less than $1,000 a month, you don't even have the opportunity to be bouncing around. So I'm even in that upper, you got, for me on my channel, you're even seeing the upper half of the pro game. Like, go down to Guatemala and see these guys who aren't starters for their pro team. That is like struggling. They can't even afford the ticket, you know, in some cases to go, even if an opportunity pops up. luckily for the situation I'm in, if an opportunity does pop up in Sweden or anywhere, I can fly there and get to it. Majority, it's usually a lot harder even. But that's just, I like talking about that. I like showing the real side, obviously, because my whole channel has been built off of showing the real side of the professional game.
Yeah, so our plans for tonight, why don't we talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's your birthday, 26.
We'll shift back to my birthday, yeah.
Yeah, we're coming first full circle back to Fiji. But it's his birthday tonight, and like we kind of touched on before, our resort is, I don't know if we actually said this actually, but it's about an hour away from the main city. It's not close to really anything. They kind of bought up this land and built this amazing resort, secluded. So there's no other place we can go. So we're going to this nice restaurant that's at the resort. And I managed to get a table on the sand. I managed to get a reservation for sunset time. So it should be a really nice dinner.
Should be really, really cool.
It really wasn't hard to get. I think anybody can get it if they want to.
You walked up the 2 days before or a day before and like, hey, can we sit there? Yeah.
Okay.
Can we go right at sunset? Yeah. All right, cool. But it's a really nice, it's the nicest restaurant in the resort.
Yeah.
And then it's right at sunset and it's right next to the infinity pool on the west side, obviously, so you can see the sun setting over the Pacific. But it should be really good.
Yeah. And then tomorrow's our last full day. And I think we're going to be spending it in the shade a little bit, probably.
I got a little burnt today.
He got a little toasty on his back. He didn't think to reapply on the back side of his body. And I got sunburnt.
Mimi looks like an abstract painting.
I do. That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
The whole, right side of my body is, burned in some places, slightly red. And he thinks it's because I'm bad at applying sunscreen. But I think it's because the sun is so low here, and it's always on the right side, always, of the sky, because it just goes like that. So the right side of my body is just super...
But it's not just on one side of you, because it's splotchy on one side of you. That's how you know that you're not good at...
No, it's only right here, and then it's my whole right side.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. We're about to go to dinner now. Leave here in 20, 30 minutes. Have a really nice sunset dinner. And then just kind of relax the rest of the night. I just got to edit this up real quick. Shouldn't be too hard though. And then we'll go to dinner, maybe have a few glasses of this nice champagne they left us, and then watch a movie or something. And since it's my birthday, like Mimi said, I get to choose the movie, but Mimi gets to veto it. Which basically is a nice way of saying that Mimi gets to choose the movie.
You chose it last night.
Yeah, but...
I didn't veto it.
Yeah, that's true. But you really like that. We watched a scientific documentary on different scientists going through their different crafts and then explaining it to other scientists. It was really cool. What was it called? Abstract thinking or
The unknown.
The most unknown. The most unknown on Netflix. If you guys have that, I don't know if that's just available down here in the Oceania, but the most unknown was a really good documentary if you're a nerd. But yeah, let's go do it. Let's go have a good dinner and enjoy my B-Day, my 26th B-Day. And then we can enjoy it all again tomorrow when it's my American 26th B-Day. Is that a yes?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's catch you on the last one. This was Against All Odds podcast. Peace.
Peace.